Welcome to the Unfolding You podcast. I'm Erin Smylie Walsh, and I'm thrilled to invite you on a transformative journey of self-discovery and faith. Welcome to another episode of the Unfolding You podcast with me, your host, Erin Smylie Walsh. And it is such a joy to have you join us today. If it's your first time, welcome. If you are back and have been avidly listening to the Unfolding You podcast, thank you so much for your support. I am so humbled by all of you that show up here weekly and just support us. So thank you so much. If you have not subscribed to any of our different platforms, please do. And I really want to encourage you to share episodes that you feel others may actually benefit from. I think that's the whole heart and soul of this podcast, is purely just to encourage those going through different seasons of life that they are not alone, that there is hope in being able to live this out, and that there are people around them that truly understand where they're at and have the narrative to support them and encourage them in those spaces. If you want to support the ongoing goal of the Unfolding You podcast, our goal really is just to be able to reach as many people as possible. We're still such a small podcast, but being listened to in 22 different countries, of which I just am still so overwhelmed by. But please visit our website. There is a podcast page on the website, erinsmylie.com, where it'll give you a whole lot of information on how you can come alongside the Unfolding You podcast and partner with us to support us in growing and reaching more people with ongoing faith-led, Christ-led encouragement. So I'd really encourage you to go and visit that page. And if you want to be a guest on the show or you have any questions, that is also the place where you can actually put all of that down. So this week we are talking around your voice and the power of your voice to be able to speak life over someone else. But how quickly our voice can actually also be a vehicle of discouragement for people. And in today's day and age, what are we using our voice for? Are we using our voice to speak courage and kindness over somebody and have that lead as kingdom speech? Or are we using our voice to speak discouragement and hurt over somebody that can leave them feeling quite abandoned in a situation? Hard conversations are sometimes so difficult to have with people. But sometimes a hard conversation done well can be what gives somebody the encouragement to move to the next step, to give somebody the encouragement where they go, I know I can do this. I've failed at something, but because you've come alongside me and you've looked at it in a different perspective and you've given me an encouraging word over this, I can actually pick all this up, use it as knowledge, not as failure, as knowledge, in order to step into a new season of life. I must say, for me, I've had a number of different moments in my life where they have been pivotal turning points, where I could have gone this way or this, where I could have had moments of complete and utter disarray, but yet that gave me the opportunity to move forward in a different way. And I am very fortunate. I've had incredibly encouraging voices around my life. But not everyone has that. And this is really where I want to move today's episode. I want us to look at Ephesians 4, verses 29. And this little section is entitled Living as Children of Light. But verse 29 says, don't use foul or abusive language. Let everything you say be good and helpful, so that your words will be an encouragement to those who hear them. And just like I've had encouraging voices in my lifetime, and I still do, what if you are the only encouraging voice that somebody else may hear? Just let that sink in for a bit, because if we used to having people around us that encourage us, that speak life into us, we sometimes live in this space of, well, surely everyone else has that. But the reality is not everyone else has that. For some people, you will be their only encouraging voice. And so I want us to take this framework of true, timely, and tender, and use those as three pivotal anchors when we are having a conversation with somebody. My husband often tells me, what you're saying is true. The tone in which you're saying it is not always received with the kindness you're hoping it is delivered with. And I know I can sometimes come across quite black and white, and I got to be mindful on how I say words and the manner in which it's being said. So this framework could actually be quite apt for some of us. So is it true? Is what I'm saying to you true? Is it the situation? Is it what you've observed? Is it linked to that person that you are having the conversation with? Is it timely? Is it something from the past that is completely irrelevant to this conversation? Is it what they're currently going through? Is it timely in the way of this is appropriate for where they're at? And then is it tender? Is what you're saying going to come across in a way of helpfulness? It's going to help them rise up, not break them down? Is it to nurture an idea in them that can encourage them to step forward? And so using this framework to frame the narrative with how you have a conversation around a certain topic with somebody, and is your voice that one of encouragement, or is it to tell them off, tell them how bad a job they're doing, and in the end of the day, they are actually just more broken down than they are encouraged to carry on? There's some practices that I've found helpful when trying to be a voice of encouragement to others. For me, it's writing them a note. I am very intentional with birthdays, with giving a gift. I always write a note. I always try and write something that someone will be able to hold on to, that someone will be able to read and feel seen in that moment. For my 40th birthday, I had people around me that I cared for, and that cared for me. And I knew that I would not be able to have meaningful conversations with each person at my birthday. So what I chose to do was write each person a note of what they mean to me. And it took me a while, but it was very important for me to be able to give each person a note at the end of it and for them to feel seen and loved by me in that way. So writing somebody a note or a card, sending somebody a text, sending somebody an encouraging verse, sending somebody just even an image with thinking of you, that goes so far, and you never know who may receive that or may need that when you send it through to them. A courageous conversation. I first heard the term courageous conversation in a podcast with Preston Morrison and Tim Ross. And it has never left my mind because it is just such a fantastic way of articulating hard conversations. And so instead of saying I need to have a difficult conversation, I need to have a courageous conversation. It takes courage to say the things that I need to say, whether it's a goal, fact, or an ask. It takes courage to hear the things that need to be said or are being said to me. So receiving, understanding, reflecting. And then the manner in which the conversation moves will change the dynamic in the way you move forward beyond that conversation. So is it received in a very defensive way? The courageous conversation is only seen as an attack, and that's where it ends. Is the courageous conversation of the person initiating the conversation, is it one of attack? So your intention is just to break the receiver down? Or is it that conversation can be a needle mover for both parties, where it could be a mentee-mentor situation? This is what I've seen. This is what I feel could benefit you. This is how we can move through this. The person receiving the conversation can go, I've never looked at it like that, and use it as an accelerant for change, but in the better. So courageous conversations. I use it with my girls all the time, and I also mark them when they have a courageous conversation with a friend, when they have a courageous conversation with their parents. I mark those for them so that they understand the courage it took to say the things they needed to say, but the courage it took for them to hear the things they needed to hear. And if we use that as a narrative in our life, wow, we could initiate and implement change on another level. And another practice I love, which I don't actually do, but I try and be mindful of it, is a no complaint day. No complaints, no negativity. No complaining about the service here, no complaining about not being seen here, no complaining about the person that shifted in traffic, no complaining around somebody else. Just a no complaint day. And take note, of all the blessings that have happened in your day, all the moments that you would have missed by only focusing on the complaints. Okay. I always think around the people that come into my life and who needs your advocacy this week. Who has come across your path? What situation has come across your path where you look at it and go, I could advocate for that person today. I could use my voice. I could use my knowledge to advocate for that one person today. And what difference would that actually make for them, not for you, for them? My prayer is that you look at your voice as a mechanism for change, as a mechanism to encourage and breathe life into people, because often our voice is the only one that may be doing that for them. Our voice may be the one that they need for them to just not lose hope. Our voice may be the one thing said to them today that they've been asking the Lord for. And the things we say today can be the difference between them giving their lives to the Lord and them turning away from the Lord. And it's again acting in that state of obedience, being attentive, listening to the word, listening to the voice, listening to the whisper, and then being the voice to advocate for one person, to encourage one person, to be the blessing for one person. So I want to, as we close this episode, just encourage you to use your words to build and not to bruise. Because, man, we are good at bruising people. We are good at taking our own frustrations and just throwing the rocks at someone else because we want them to feel the frustration we're feeling. But what if we shifted that? What if we put the rocks down and our words were solely that to build? Say to my girls, we're crown straighteners. Our job is not to bring someone down. Our job is to straighten someone's crown, to celebrate their wins, to be there in moments, to encourage them, to see them. It doesn't take a lot to say, wow, your hair looks great. I love that color on you. It does not take a lot. All it takes is noticing. So may that be your encouragement today, to be the voice that builds somebody else up. Have a good week. Bye.